We finally got some good weather in here.
You brought an umbrella, though. Have your umbrella here. I mean, we won't need it
We
tonight.
don't need that for the R word tonight.
No.
Hey, if you've been following Chase the Checkered, we've had 2 shows already this season, but no races. So we've highlighted some great racing from 1993. But finally, we're going to get an opportunity to review highlights of a very special evening. Not only is it opening night, but we're going to open up with twin 35s for the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late models, in addition to action with the Pro Stocks, Riverside Bilo Street Stocks, and the Pure Stocks. All this action took place on Saturday evening, May 14th, and it's going to be a great night for some exciting competition. These guys are anxious.
Yeah, and you know what? It's the beginning of the season. Everybody's equal in points. Everybody's in first place, including the likes of our 3 defending champions or past champions in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series late model division. Steve Pellis, charging Charlie Craig, and Glenn Galt. Going to be an interesting season, and with 2 races tonight, it's, I'm sure, going to be a hot start.
Well, 2 races for the late models and all those other divisions. Tell me something, though, Steve Areno. You know, if you were a race driver, the fact is that everybody tied for first place. This is the only chance you'd ever have being tied for first place.
This is your umbrella, right?
Yeah, that's my...
We don't need that to...
That's my umbrella.
Whoops.
Did you hit someone?
Liability is paid, isn't it? I think we'll be right back.
It's sizzling hot. It's the best pizza deal you can cut. A deal that isn't skimpy. This one has real meat to it. 6 meat toppings and a blend of cheeses. Pizza Hut Meat Lovers Pizza. Now, get 1 medium for $8.99. And a second pizza for half price. But hurry, it's a limited time offer.
Cruise into your local Chevrolet Geo dealer now for the all-new Camaro.
May 21st, 6 p.m., the best from throughout the Midwest tackle our weekly stars in the Iceman Series 100 at Jennerstown Speedway. See our NASCAR Winston Racing Series 4-division program of the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late models, Pro Stocks, Riverside Bilo Street Stocks, and Pure Stocks, plus a complete Iceman Series show highlighted by a 100-lap main. Gates open at 3:30, time trials at 5:30, and racing at 6 p.m. Watch our Chevrolet official vehicle pace cars turn loose the excitement of both NASCAR Winston Racing Series and Iceman Series competitors on May 21st, 6 p.m. at Jennerstown Speedway. Well, I guess we are back, Steve. Hey, you owe me 1 umbrella.
No, you got to go collect it yourself. There was a guy in a 3-piece suit down there. I think he was an attorney.
Quick, let's do the lineup here for the Power 92-15 Circuit Main for our Fireworks Division of Pure Stocks.
And taking a look at the front 3 rows, we have Aaron Will, Mitzi Shalas in the front row. Behind them, Dan Campbell, Kevin Schmucker, Barry DeSalvo, Ron Conway, and we're going to get ready and drop the green flag here. Or at least we're not going to drop it, but our flagman is.
Ron Brett will do that. That point position car, sophomore pilot Aaron Wills from State College, PA. He's a college student, mechanical engineering, and he's really come on strong. Now, Mitzi Shalas on the outside. She's the only female pilot in the history of Western Pennsylvania racing to win an officially sanctioned event on asphalt. And the green comes out. We are up to speed in racing, and look at this. Aaron Will takes the lead with that Ford.
He didn't race a full season with us last year, but the races he was involved with, he did very well, and he gets the jump on the start tonight as he comes down the back straight into turns 3 and 4. It is Aaron Will on the point. Mitzi Shalas just behind him, and Dan Campbell applying pressure as well. Let's move ahead in the event. This is lap 3, battle for the lead. Let's go to a live call.
Oh, a little bit of chrome fender denting out there again. Oh, did we hook bumpers? No, I thought we did. Campbell and the 12 of, well, they're still out there hammering on each other. And Barry DeSalvo gets the lead because of, here comes Ron Conway. Conway gets through. The Cobra strikes. He gets through for 3rd place position. Steve, even though this is Jennerstown's opening event, Motordrome, our sister track's been running already, and Cobra, Mark Corden in 3rd place position, already is a dominant feature winner down there with 3 wins. He's running 3rd here. Now we're going to jump ahead. This is after a minor miscue, a restart on lap 8, and it's still Barry DeSalvo with the lead, but we're talking about the Cobra. Mark Corden, there he is, a Stoystown, Pennsylvania driver, will go to the outside of this DuBois, Pennsylvania driver in the number 5 and commit to that line. He's tap dancing up there, Steve, trying to get through. Here comes Ron Conway.
Conway has also won down at the Motordrome Speedway twice so far this season, but as we watch, there goes the Cobra again on the outside. He's got a nose ahead of DeSalvo. Can he pull it out? DeSalvo, who has not run all that much here at Jennerstown, doing quite well, but in this case, it is the Cobra who comes out on top and takes the point position.
So Mark Corden able to hang on to the lead. Now Conway, who had never won a race till this year down at Motordrome, you mentioned two-time feature winner, is right in that pack. Now we're going to move ahead. This is a few laps later. Let's take it into a call. He's trying to get over Kevin Sander's car. Sander likewise trying to do the same to Kevin Schumacher. Look at Schumacher out of 4. He's lost it, race fans. Look out in the front straight. Oh, no. The Terminator spins.
Lots of smoke and a near disaster, but nobody hurt. Minor miscue and the inexperience of a rookie pilot there. But we're going to pick the action up. This is the end of the race coming out of turn 4. It is King Cobra Mark Corden picking up his first win of 94 here at Jennerstown, picking up where he left off last year, defending track champion. And here's a look at our top 5.
When we look that over, of course, Mark Corden winning. Barry DeSelf hanging on to second. Ron Conway ends up in third. Dane Campbell fourth. And Mitzi Shalis, the lone female pilot, rounds out the top 5. In victory lane, Mark Corden in our fireworks division of pure stocks at the Power 92, 15th Circuit Main. Steve Arena, we're going to move on in the event. This is our first of the twin 35-lap late model mains for the John Auto Parts Pure Later Sponsor Division. Hey, beautiful car pacing this field. That's Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Jennerstown this year, with their Camaro Z28 pace car. What an unbelievable car. Hey, there's the top 3 rows.
And let's take a look. Right, sitting on the pole position, the hottest driver on asphalt in Pennsylvania last year, Tiger Tom Erickson. Outside of him, a lot of experience. Clayt Husted in the rows to follow. Jimmer Seeger, Steve Pellis, Chuck Kennedy, Glenn Galt, and just behind them, Charging Charlie Craig. And these guys chomping at the bit to start racing this year, and that's just what we're going to do.
As they come out of turns 3 and 4, it's up to that front row to be side by side at the yellow perpendicular line. In turn 4, they are. The greens unfolded from start to run, Brett. We are up to speed and racing. Everybody getting into turns 1 and 2 cleanly. And it is Tiger Tom Erickson in the Budweiser Heritage Harley Davidson 36 taking the lead with that Oldsmobile down the back straightaway over that number 1 machine, the Unimart's car of 62-year-old Clayt Husted from Phillipsburg.
Who's been racing for a mere 42 years, so lots of experience there. But it's Erickson right now in command, and the car's actually beginning to bunch up just behind our leader. As a matter of fact, making moves are Steve Pellis and Glenn Galt moving ahead in the event. This is lap 19. Erickson in the lead. This is the battle for second. And things are really going to start heating up as these two go side by side in that battle for the number 2 spot. It's just a lot of experience knowing each other.
Yeah, but, you know, many years ago, this used to be the battle between the 2 orange cars. But there's a different look to Stevie Pellis' machine. I think you're going to address that in a race break later in the show. But right now, we're going to address the fact that these two can run side by side, lap after lap, and always make things exciting for the race fans. And as they do, we're going to take it right into the call. Go! Fender to fender, wheel to wheel with Pellis. They're inches away from each other out of 4. Pellis tries to work the outside once again. He comes right back up on Galt. Into 1 and 2. Pellis and Galt continue this battle. Look at this. Pellis doesn't want to give an inch. Galt continues to haunt the low side. Fender to fender, wheel to wheel. This personal battle going on for the prize. Oh, well, look out! The cars get together. Galt spins. We're not done yet.
Wow, incidental contact between those two. And look at this, everybody manages to get around. So all that will do is send Galt to the back. Pellis remains in second place, and we're going to move ahead in the event. This is lap number 27, and a battle for third. We have Erickson in first, Pellis in second, but here comes Charging Charlie Craig battling the likes of Clayt Husted as they enter turns 3 and 4, side by side. Oh, are they close together? Cragen right now with just a bit of an advantage. Oh, again, they almost make contact, but it's Cragen who comes out. He establishes himself as third place.
Now we're going to move on in the event. This is a late race battle, and a spin again by Glenn Galt trying to come up through the field. Gets involved with a minor incident with Robbie Marhefka in the Quick Rock 99 machine. But it's time to move on. Late in the race, only 3 laps to go. And look at this. Charging Charlie Cragen has sneaked all the way up to the back bumper of the Riverside Bilo Sanitary 00 Stevie Pellis. And this is for the second place position as Tiger Tom Erickson still is in command of the event.
Pellis has to be saying, well, I held off the likes of Glenn Galt earlier, but now here comes Cragen, and he knows that Charging Charlie certainly knows how to work his way around the racetrack again as we watch them come around down through the back straight. It's Erickson in first place, and a good battle going on for the number 4 spot. It's Rick Miller, Lonnie Von there, and
Clayt Husted to get together out of 4.
Little bit, but both managed to hold on to the car and keep the race going. Green flag.
That gives everything for Rick Miller to go to 4th place position. But here's this battle for second still. Charging Charlie Cragen trying to make it work, but he's running out of time in real estate. We're going to pan over here and catch your leader, Tom Terrific Erickson, and here comes the checker.
In a wire-to-wire performance, our winner, Tiger Tom Erickson, in the 35-lap main for the John Auto Parts Pure Later late models. And here's a look at the top 5. Just behind Erickson, Pellis, Cragen, Miller, and Husted. Reads like a who's who in late model racing.
Tiger Tom Erickson all fired up in Victory Lane with his Power 92 trophy. And Steve, we're going to get ready to move on to yet another event coming up here in just a second. This will be for the Pro Stocks. There they are. It's their Power 92 25 circuit main. Hey, what's his top 3 rows look like?
Well, we've got Butch Durkis on the pole. Just outside of him is Dave Haupt, then Bob Arsenberger, Kelly Schullis, Jerry Wisner, and Duke McLaughlin. That makes up the front 3 rows.
Interesting factor with Duke McLaughlin. That's that yellow and black automobile, the Beckwith Machinery Caterpillar car. That car was driven by Bob Kossel, former track champion here, but he has a back injury, so he has a substitution here. Duke McLaughlin's from Somerset, is an SCCA Pro Trans Am racer. Now we get the green. We're up to speed in racing, and look who jumps to the point position. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's Butch Durkis right off the bat in the Abriola Auto Parts 87 Lumina. Falling behind is the 20 of Dave Hump as they work down the back straightaway.
And Kelly Schullis trying to work his way up through the field as well. We should also point out just 1 row behind those. Back in row 4 was Jeff Dunmeyer, our track champion from last year. But it is right now Butch Durkis leading the pack. Dave Haupt trying to make up lost ground, but he's really having some problems there. The real battle's going on back for the number 3, number 4, number 5 spots.
You know, we look over the top 5 cars. You have the point position car Durkis. He has never won an event at Jennerstown. Kelly Schullis right there in that white and purple Ford. He has never won an event at Jennerstown either. But people like Dave Haupt in the black 20, the AJ's Furniture car, the blue, new look for Bob Arsenberger, the blue car, the 26, he has won as well. And Jerry Wisner behind him in the white and orange 84. Well, the New Creek, West Virginia driver has visited Victory Lane, career first last season. These cars stringing out a bit. Here's a shot of Jeff Dunmeyer. You can see him in that powder blue and white car. He's moving up through this field. Hey, Duke McLaughlin doing a great job in a Beckwith Machinery machine. Not racing oval track, and it's completely different than road racing, and he's doing a fine job at it.
And in this 3-car battle for 5th place, which we're looking at right here, the number 49, new look for Denny Wingert in the Supus Ford Thunderbird. And Jeff Dunmeyer just behind him. We have some familiar-looking cars and faces and some new-looking cars and drivers. We're going to address that a little bit later on in the race break.
You know what, Steve? I can't think of 2 drivers on this track that are more dedicated to their type of machinery than Denny Wingert's a Ford man, and Dunmeyer there is a Chevy man, and they're sandwiched with that Oldsmobile in between. Paul Zorzione car that Duke McLaughlin's driving, they've worked with an Oldsmobile for so long, and look inches away from each other. I'm not sure if Duke's that familiar with running that close. Looks like you driving down the Parkway.
No, wait a minute, Mike. I don't know. Let's talk about running close together here. There are those 3 cars, but we had an incident just a couple of laps later. This is a freshman rookie pilot, Chris the Terminator Kokenauer, and a sophomore, Alki Cunningham. Chris kind of spun the car out, lost a little bit of control. Chris is okay, but the car isn't. But we're going to restart this event, and it's going to be up to Butch Durkis to bring the field up to speed. Let's go to the call.
And here we go. Arsenberger trying to make a move on Schullis as they come up to speed. Jerry Wisner right there. Schullis having problems coming up to speed. And they're rapid 1 battles for the 3rd place position. Dave Hump has problems. Hump has big-time problems. We're trying to open up the refrigerator and throw the mayonnaise out there. No, the sandwich falls in the garbage disposal. Oh, my. Oh, tight quarters on these drivers, Steve. You know, in the past, this division has had a lot of problems with miscues, but we've been so close on it, and everybody continues racing, with Dave Hump having a flock of automobiles pressuring him. Now we move ahead in the event. We're still in top position battles. This is going on in lap 14. Jeff Dunmeyer has joined this snake, what I call a mechanical caterpillar a lot of times, and Dave Hump's still there with the AJ's Furniture Johnson Auto Parts machine in 2nd place position. He's got to get tired of looking in his rearview mirror and seeing all these multicolored machines pressuring his back bumper.
And as we watch this flock of cars come down the back straight, it is Jeff Dunmeyer who is seriously trying to put a move on, but there's lots of traffic up ahead of him. He slides underneath Jerry Wisner at this stage of the game, sets his sight on Kelly Schullis.
And it's a few laps later, and we're watching the 07 automobile of Somerset, Pennsylvania's Jeff Dunmeyer. He is on a march up through the field. Now he's going to attack the outside of the Davies Ford 26 of Bob Arsenberger. He'll go very close to that Mill Run, Pennsylvania driver's Ford Thunderbird as he tries to make the move on him. And look at this. He was in 4th. Now he's going for 3rd. Now he's moving up to Dave Hump. He's trying to go for 2nd. He goes to the outside of Hump, and he makes it into the bridesmaid spot. Incredible in the waning laps of this event. But look at all the distance he has to make up on your leader, Butch Durkis.
Can he do it? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see as they exit turns 3 and 4. He is making up the ground. 2 laps to go. Dunmeyer's reeling him in. Let's go to the call.
Jeff Dunmeyer is close within a car length, race fan. Butch Durkis looks in his rearview mirror and says, no, not now. Into 3 and 4. Durkis looking for his first win ever at the Laurel Highlands Oval. This time the white flag. 1 circuit to go. Dunmeyer within a car length. Durkis knows it. Here comes Dunmar. He looks to the outside. Butch Turkis holds him by a half a car length. Dunmar's going to have to make his move. Less than a half a lap remaining. Dunmar goes to the outside. Turkis down low. Here's the drag race head up floor. Turkis goes up high. Dunmar right there at the wall. It's Turkis.
Oh, wow, what a finish. And look at this, they both pull up. Neither one's really sure who won. It was that close.
It's got to be an unbelievable situation for the drivers. Hey, look at the top 5 in the results in this Pro Stock event.
And back in victory lane, it is Butch Durkis with the big win. And you know, Mike, I mentioned we have a lot of new faces, new look cars. Let's go to a race break and check some of those new looks out.
This race break is brought to you by Chevrolet and your local Chevrolet Geo dealer, the official vehicle of Jennerstown Speedway.
Yes, this is the season opener here at Jennerstown, and with each new year, always some changes with drivers and cars, but this year you better buy a program if you want to tell who's driving which car. Perhaps the most notable change involves one of the most familiar faces at Jennerstown, Steve Pellis. His late model is still number 00, but just about everything else on Stevie's car is different. Gone is the orange-red Lumina. This year it's a teal-blue Grand Prix under the sponsorship of Riverside Markets, Bilo Foods, and Sanitary. Stevie's also running a Creme motor in his quest for a 3rd NASCAR Northeast Region title. Other late model changes include Mark Catone, now driving a yellow and black T-Bird under the sponsorship of Integra Bank. Ken Imler, now driving the McDonald's Stucky Ford T-Bird. And Randy Burke's back in his late model Sheetz gasoline-sponsored car. And a brand new face in late model racing at Jennerstown is Franklin Park, New Jersey's Bob Kendall. Running the number 9 Blue Lumina, Bob has to make a 4.5-hour tow to race with us each week. And some other new looks this year include Pro Stock number 77 Kelly Shawless, now piloting a Ford. The new black number 26 Pro Stock of Bob Arsenberger. The new look number 19 Jat-sponsored Pro Stock of Johnstown's Don Wyan. And yes, the Terminator, Chris Kokenauer. He's jumped from the Pure Stocks to the Pro Stock division. Lots of new colors and sponsors. And we'll point out some other changes as the weeks go on.
This race break has been brought to you by Chevrolet and your local Chevrolet Geo dealer, the official vehicle of Jennerstown Speedway. Come back here from the kitchen in your refrigerator. We still have more racing going on. Our Thunder and Lightning division, the Riverside Bilo Street Stocks in their Power 9220 Circuit Main. How about those top 3 rows?
And on the pole position, Dave Wilt. Oh, going to be a good start for Dave. Always a good front runner. Outside of him, Carl Trevero. Behind them, Tony Hirsch, Marty Edwards, Sean Beeman, Brian Audie. And in the rows behind them, lurking back there, Hollywood Heminger. So we'll have to wait and see whether he can put on the dark sunglasses and slick back hair and make a move up toward the front.
You're talking about everybody up front. I think everybody runs well when they're up front, at least for the first lap. But let's see what happens with Dave Wilt. The green comes out. We're up to speed in racing and all. Look at the bullet back there. And a new look car for him. Yellow instead of black. Paul Bunyan Tree Service 15. He tries to go low in the middle of the pack. But everybody's stringing out just a bit down the back straightaway. And then, Tony Hirsch loses the handle. And that'll bring out the yellow flag. So we're going to go back to a restart.
We get to do this all over again.
Yeah, we do.
We didn't have a lap in, so we do a double file. And again, it's Dave Wilt on the point position, establishing the number 1 spot as he begins to pull away from the field, although he is beginning to feel some pressure. But look what's going on back in the pack for that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. Lots of cars bunched up there.
Well, the Haas Estate and C.S. Chevelle still holds this lead position with Carl Trevero from Hooversville right behind him. Look at Marty Edwards, though, in the 57. La Nature Sparkling Water Monte Carlo on the outside with the bullet down low. And they continue bringing Brian Audie with them in a rows number 75 and Mark Berkey in the 73 and Hollywood Heminger. 5 cars locked up in a battle. Actually, that is for 3rd place position as 5 cars are trying to struggle for.
Yeah, but out on front, it is still Dave Wilt. Carl Trevero still trying to apply some pressure, but right now, Wilt is still holding a definite advantage. Trevero would love desperately to pull out a win here, as I'm sure most of these pilots would. Now, remember what this group of cars looks like. We're going to move ahead in the event. Actually, about 4 laps. We're now on lap 5 right here, and boy, it doesn't look like much has changed. Really, a whole lot has not. We still have Dave Wilt on the point position in this cluster of cars battling for the 2, 3, and 4 spots.
Well, Marty Edwards up there is making his presence known. He has a career first win on pavement. It came at Motordrome Speedway earlier this season. And he'll go to the outside of Carl Trevero's car. And as they do, things get a little hairy there. But watch behind in the lower part of the screen. Oh, we have a problem. Rick Sheeler spins. And then look at this. Look at this. Dusty Rhodes kablam right into the car. Rips open the radiator. There's steam everywhere.
Everybody's okay, but kablam?
Yeah, kablam, that's the ticket, the comic book division. Now, we move on. This is the restart. Everybody going down the back straight. Things are going to get really intense. Hey, let's take it to the call. Here comes Heminger. He dives to the low side with the North Star Equipment 72-year defending track champion, battling side by side with Marty Edwards, and Heminger breaks through the Boswell, Pennsylvania driver. Oh, the car breaks. Heminger has problems, falls off the pace just after making a move.
Has to be heartbreaking for the driver from the Boswell Jenner area here in Pennsylvania, but he did not bring out a yellow. He manages to limp the car back into the pit, so we keep green flag racing, and we're going to move ahead in the event. Just 2 laps to go. This is the battle for the number 3 spot. Actually, we have Dave Wilt still on the point position, Carl Trevero behind him, but look what's going on back there.
Marty Edwards trying to hold off Brian Audi, and look at this. Carl Trevero does start the close on Wilt's automobile, but he's running out of what we call time in real estate here, Steve Areno, and there's that battle for third continuing on. Brian Audi, the Rose Lumber 75, will work the low side of the La Nature Sparkling Water 57 of Marty Edwards, but the Jeanette, Pennsylvania driver continues hanging on to that position. While that happens, Carl Trevero with a last-ditch effort here in the final lap, right up to the back bumper, the Haas Steak and Seahouse number 3 machine. He comes up short. He's got less than a third of a lap remaining. He'll try the low side, a desperate attempt. Look, the back end just gets a little squirrely on him. That gives it to Dave Wilt. He takes the checker in the Riverside Bilo Street Stock Main.
And a great start for this 94 season for Dave Wilt as he picks up the checkered, followed by Trevero, Edwards, Audi, and Beam rounding out the top 5. And as we move to victory lane, what we're going to be seeing is a very happy Dave Wilt, I'm quite sure. And hey, Mike, we have another race coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. These are twin 35s for the John Auto Parts Pure Later late models. Dave Wilt saying hi to everyone on KBL with Chase to the checkered. And now we're going to move on to the John Auto Parts Pure Later late models in their second 35-lap main.
And as we take a look at our front 3 rows, it is Barry Audi who draws the pole position. Outside of him is Glenn Galt, Chuck Kennedy, and Lonnie Vaughn back in the second row. Lonnie Vaughn ran an excellent race a little bit earlier this evening. Have to see if he can keep that up for this second feature. Behind them, we have Seeger and Houston, and of course we have Pellis and Cragen back in the middle of the field.
Rick Miller's there in a good starting position with Charlie Cragen. They're on the 4th row.
He had a hard charge in the first race. See if he can do it here.
In all of auto racing, Steve, I think the most exciting moments are Premier Division's first couple laps. It's worth taking into the call. Into 1 and 2. Look at this struggle side by side for the point position. Audi and Galt. Fender to Fender, wheel to wheel. Galt with a slingshot down the back straight, but Audi stays right with him on the low side. Then Galt breaks through for the lead, race fans. The American Title Trust 32 holds on to the point position. Listen to this speed, sight, sound, and color at 120 mile an hour.
Many times on television, it's tough to really tell how fast these cars are going, but to be here and feel it and see it, the experience is...
You know what's impressive about that? The straightaways, as we move on in the event, this is lap 5, lead battle. These straightaways are not much longer than maybe a football field and a half. So to get that kind of speed in that short of a distance is incredible. Here's that lead battle again.
Okay, and it is still Glenn Galt holding that point position with Audi and Vaughn.
Wow, look at this.
Lonnie Vaughn running an excellent race, and Barry Audi right up on the back bumper of Glenn Galt. This is what you would call a 3-way heated battle for the point position. There's Audi making a move on the low side of Glenn Galt as they work their way down the back straight, but it is Glenn Galt who manages to hold on, but just barely. He just pulls right back down again in front of Audi, and there is still Lonnie Vaughn, will not give up.
Well, you know, as they work down into turns 1 and 2, we're going to move on. It will be on lap 23. This is the battle for second. Lonnie Vaughn is the story of this event. It's been at least a year and a half we've seen him run this strong. A couple years back, he finished in the top 5, but he is now actually pressuring Barry Audi for that second place position. It's an outstanding run for him. He'll close right up to the back bumper, and for some Chrysler fans, this is a thoroughbred Chrysler machine. It's a 360 cubic inch Chrysler power plant under the hood and of this body, which is a Chrysler LeBaron. Look at this. He sneaks under that Camaro of Barry Audi, but Audi, the determined driver in a Stoystown Auto Record 75 Doc's Bob machine, holds him right off as they continue this high-flying pace.
Actually, we talk about Lonnie, and there's quite a bit of an experience in this form of this driver as he again works the low side of Audi, but Audi again just manages to barely hold him off.
Well, as they continue down into turns 1 and 2, they'll go around some slower traffic. Audi's still hanging on to that position. Down the back straight, they get around a newcomer, Pat Almoney from Maryland, state of Maryland, out with us. He's lapped down, no real experience in racing on oval track, and we're still concentrating on this battle for second. Lonnie Vaughn with the Mopar Performance machine all the way from New Philadelphia, Ohio. They make it out with us each and every week. Then the car breaks. The drama here. Can you believe it? After running so well, that car breaks. He's able to trail it down the back straight. Look at the flame shooting out as it's so rich. Now we move on. Late race battle for 4th place position.
And Two guys that were battling in our first feature tonight. The 36 of Tiger Tom Erickson, the 00 of Steve Pellis. Pellis working the low line, grooming it quite well. The cars get side by side, working their way through the turns. Right now it's Pellis with just a nose advantage, and coming down the front straight, he'll take that position.
You know, Pellis, late in this event, became what might have been the fastest car in the racetrack. Look at him pull away, but we're going to pull away and move on to the white flag. This is Glenn Galt coming around to take the checker in the American Title and Trust 32. The Orange Blossom Special right there picks up the second win, his first in 1994 in Western Pennsylvania.
It was a wire-to-wire win for Glenn Galt, followed by Barry Audi, Charge and Charlie Craig, and Steve Pellis, and Tom Erickson in the 5th place position. Glenn in victory lane. We'll be back with some words of wisdom after this.